Yeah, I'll be there in a few moments. Yeah, I just got done dealing with hairpin. Man, you're gonna love this. Yeah. Yeah, I'll call you back in a minute. I gotta go do a review. Man, boss always giving me really hard smoke. Should probably just reach for the bat. Yeah. Alrighty. Ha 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 ha. Sorry. It took me a moment. Well, today's the day. Well, hello everyone. This is Saki Nakado, Stuff Fine Into Anime here. AKA John Pullman, horror author, manga writer, personality name here, AKA Gabe here. And this is my honest review and opinion / comparison between Persona 3 Reload and Fez. If you did not know, a few hours ago, I have finished The Answer remake. All 7 episodes, including the ending, are on the channel. They were all live streamed from where they left off. Well, I'd also like to say this doesn't include a content warning, but what I can tell you is that down in the description below, you can choose, as usual, except for when I returned back, you can go ahead and go into the description below and click whichever part of the video you want with the time link. That being said, let's get straight into this review. Okay, number 1, the Persona 3 Reload review of The Answer. I'll be real with all of you. Even on stream I said this. 10 out of 10. I loved it. The Answer was a truly good scenario, or as other people in my group chat like to call it, Season 2 of Persona 3. Which, hey, can you blame them? Not really. But I tell you what, I was not expecting to cry off camera. Like, I mean, I wasn't on camera, but, you know, you could hear me through stream. I guess I should say when my mic was off. The episodes that truly broke me in some parts, like, it didn't really break me, that's not the right word. It made me sad because most of these things actually happen in real life. Well, I've experienced it anyway. The episodes that made me really sad was episode 6, Arena, and the final episode, Final Battle and Friendship. The reason why Arena was really sad was because they truly did not know how to proceed except for, like, beating each other to the death. Now, of course, Metis and Aigis actually do go ahead and win this battle between Yukari Takiba, Mitsuru Kirijo, Junpei Iori, Kanemata, Komaru, and last but not least, Akihiko Sanada. So, between the plot and the story in general, I'm going to give you all of my, because this review shouldn't take so long. I'm gonna just say it out loud so we can be done with the review here. I know you all were probably expecting a little bit more. However, I give The Answer remake for its entire story and including the journey, because I'm pretty sure I actually did a review of the journey, didn't I? I can't remember. But I give it a straight out 10 out of 10, hands down. The journey and the answer were fantastic. Now, if people were to comment this so you don't have to, If you don't want to, you still can, but does Erberus, as the final boss fight of The Answer, beat Nyx? In my opinion, no. No, not exactly. You see, to me, they're actually equal. Here's why. Because, as you heard on the final episode, it was the desires of all the humans that made Erberus basically praising to Nyx to let it out of the seal of the door. But, obviously, Seas defeats both Nyx and Erberus. Nyx is way stronger in my opinion. It's death itself. It's death itself, and not to mention Yuki gives up all of his life, essence, and soul to save the entire world. Yep. Yeah, yeah. But anyways, 10 out of 10 for, the remake. With Fez, let's hop straight into this as there's a lot to be said here. Inside of Persona 3 Fez, you have the journey, which goes the same way, has the same ending. If you actually choose to do the good ending, it's not that hard. I would actually go as far as Persona 5, including Royal's ending to get, is really difficult. But I did beat Persona 5 not that long ago. The vanilla version, anyway, which I honestly think, well, actually, I'm gonna hold my thoughts on that. And including Persona 4 Golden, Persona 4 Golden's ending is really difficult. It's up there with 5! But in order to get the ending of, well, you know what, I'm not actually going to say it because I don't want people to get spoiled, even though I know all of you probably have watched this. So, it's easy to get the ending in Persona 3, in general. But if we hop straight over to Fez, I would like to talk about only one part that disappointed me in Reload. You see, everybody was saying, oh, it's Nightmare Fuel time! Ah ha ha! Yeah, I know, and we were all excited. And yeah, I was straight up reading the comments as they were going into the cutscene. I also might make a AMV of Persona 3 Reload of my playthrough only. If all of you want that, comment below or else it won't happen. The only part that disappointed me was the memory of Yuki, or basically as they called it, like, what designed himself, or what it designed himself as Yuki, basically the memory of him going away. You're basically fighting your own comrade, but he was a monster at the end of the day. Therefore, he is called Evil Yuki Makoto, aka Shadow Yuki. However, in the remake, oh yeah, spoilers ahead, by the way, for this part, in case all of you have not beaten this yet, please, do not watch any further if you have not beaten The Answer's remake. Now, with that out of the way, let's hop straight into this. See, between Fez and Reload, I think Fez is more scarier with the Nightmare Fuel. Here is why. One of two reasons. Although I see what you were doing, Atlas. I see what you did in the remake, and I understand why you did that. See, in Fez, you don't actually get to see Yuki stand back up after you're done, like, getting your Persona's levels and stuff back. Or, well, leveling them up. The cutscene plays, right? And he's all gray, like, for an instance, you get to see a flash of Yuki, and then, as it's, like, playing the scary music, because the music soundtrack for that part really is scary, Shadow Yuki flashes into color of his actual self, then flashes back. And then he puts his hand down, and it wiggles his fingers. One letter was on his, I think that was, yeah, that was the E, right? The E on his thumb falls off, and then the A falls off too. Which I never understood that, but his hand still wiggles in the remake. However, this served no purpose to me. because he was wearing a glove from the new outfit. So, however, after all of that, you kind of get like a really creepy smile as he's like literally disintegrating into a skeleton. Like to the point that it's still good to this day in my opinion with the CGI. But to the point that it's only scary CGI with the soundtrack, and there is no anime left in that part until you actually see Yuki smile, and then he goes away and disintegrates. When the cutscene is done from that nightmare fuel, the team talk like it never happened. Now here's the remake in P3RE, as I like to call it, because Persona 5 Royal is P5R. You cannot change my mind. You cannot. So let's hop straight into Reload. In the Answer remake, after he beat Shadow Yuki, and I think this was, it was episode 5, A Memory of a Fallen Friend, as I called it. I forget what I called it, but it was episode 5. In the remake, what happens is he's there on the ground for a moment, and he stands back up, and everybody has a reaction. See, here's why I think the Nightmare Fuel didn't make it into this. Because I bet so many fans were so angry that in Fez they didn't have a reasonable reaction to the Nightmare Fuel that just happened. However, I think Atlas focused more on the entire group of C's having a reaction to his memory going away. And I think that's where the Nightmare Fuel actually just wasn't there. See, his eyes are red instead of gray, and that's like the only scary thing to that part. However, he does disintegrate, but in a really weird way. As soon as Aegis sees what's happening, and the rest of them do too, she holds out her hand to Yuki, and I believe she almost cries because he's going away for good. This like blue cloud of dust disintegrates him with all the butterflies and stuff of the butterfly effect. He closes his eyes one final time but does not smile, and he's gone. He's out of existence. One final butterfly flies away, and vice versa, so on and so forth. Then the C's have a really sad reaction because that was the memory of their fallen comrade and friend. The savior of the world that went to Gekkokan High School in the dormitory with all of them. The memories that they shared from before the world ended, from the tragedy that happens. Persona 3 at the end of the day is all about death. That's its main setting. Death. And what I get from that setting is you can't beat death unless you have an ultimate power to seal it away. For example, Yuki sealed away Nyx by jumping into the moon, where Death's heart was after Nyx's avatar. But he was so weak that he could only swing his sword because I guess he dropped his evoker because it wasn't in his holster anymore. He must have dropped it to where he did one final thing after hearing out to all of the people that you made relationships with. He does this. And it seals away death. But at the cost of his life, the next day, from the promised day that they made in the journey. They all go to the rooftop. Yuki gets to see them for one final moment. And he dies in Aegis's lap. It makes me sad. I like Yuki Makoto. He's so cool. He's probably one of the best protagonists in Persona of all time. He's one of my favorite. Now, I'm not saying that Ren Amamiya / Joker and Yu Narukami are bad. They're awesome too. Narukami's a fucking Chad at the end of the day. However, that was just my review of when we put it together of how the events of the journey happened the same in Reload. And the events of the Answer happened the same except for the moment of Yuki permanently going away. But like I said before, I give the journey a solid 10 out of 10. And the nightmare fuel that wasn't there was the only part that disappointed me. That was it. There was nothing else that disappointed me. The story went the same, with a few remake ties into it, such as the Theurgies and stuff. But at the end of the day, they all got to escape the dorm and lived happy lives with each other still, as roommates and friends through and through. And that is how you make a happy ending in an anime. After the people that were with you have been through so much tragedy of things yet to come, seeing their own pasts and defeating death, as I say once more. At the end of the day, they all get to live happy lives, except for Yuki, because he will always seal away death, and his life essence was the Great Seal. This has been my honest review of The Answer remake in comparison to Fez as well, in a whole video pack. See, told you I would do it! Alright, everybody, I shall see all of you later. This has been Saki Nakado's Stuff Finally into Anime here, aka John Pullman, horror author, manga writer, personality name here, aka Gabe here. And also, remember to stay tuned for more new awesome, epic, amazing content coming to the channel. And just other content in general, you know. All of the above. Also, remember to have a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, and night. And most importantly, all of you stay safe out there. I shall see all of you in the next one. And as a little heads up, the next manga is the M1 remake. It's also the first manga remake on the channel. And trust me, the only thing I'm going to say about it is that there is no X-rated content in it. It's just your average, well, kinda average horror manga. Anyways, I shall see all of you later. Let me know down in the comments below, even if it's before the M1 remake, what you want to see next on the channel. Between more tier lists, more AMVs, all of the above. That finally being said, I'll see all of you later. Peace out, everyone, and bye-bye. Let me out of this bag, please! No, you see, I'll be commentating this. No! Haircoon? Rest in peace. No, please! Ah!